In my last video, I talked about how we look forward to summer while we're in school. We're just passing our days in school while waiting for the calendar to hit summer. But I haven't actually talked about the weird things we do in school. We've all done weird things in school, haven't we? That's nothing new. When you go to school, you're bound to do something weird and think it's normal. If you're watching this and thinking to yourself, I haven't done anything weird in school, you're lying. Sure, you might not have done anything weird in your own standards, but I bet there are a few students who saw you playing with yourself and thought to themselves, that guy is weird. I know I did. But it's also the same for others who saw me in my habitats and thought I was weird. It's kind of like a normal cycle of opinions of what's weird and people thinking you're weird. Hey look! Alex and Megan are kissing! How does that make you feel? Nothing. You're weird. I for one don't think I'm that weird, at least in the majority of my classmates. I mean, I definitely had my moments where I did something that just seemed normal to me. I was just doing it for my own business. But if someone came up to me and saw what I was doing, they would just stare at me for a few minutes, then walk away while thinking I'm weird. But there are moments where I know I'm weird, but I did it anyway because they were convenient and made things easier. At least, in my opinion. I mean, I don't do them anymore because it'd be a hassle. This one, I don't think it's that weird, but it was weird to my schoolmates. So every day in high school, I always sleep very late, which in turn made me very sleepy in the first period in school. Now I know what you're gonna say. Joy boy, there's nothing wrong with that. I sleep at 3 AM and I'm sleepy at 7 in the morning. Well, that's not the weird part. This particular first period is what made me weird. So during this year when I went to my homeroom, it was a German class. And whenever my teacher starts his lessons, I would do my best to pay attention, but eventually, my lack of sleep got the better of me while I slowly lowered my head to the table and just dozed off. And everyone knew I was the sleepy guy in German class. Mostly because nobody was dozing off or taking a nap. I'm surprised no one in my homeroom took a nap. All of them must have had a good night rest. Anyway, my teacher wasn't mad. Well, at least I didn't think he was mad. But every time he passed by me, he would yell out in German. And when I opened my eyes in a sleep-dazed state, all of my classmates just stared at me while my teacher spoke to me in German and I had to respond in German, as in a way for me to learn from his class.
Guten Tag!
Huh? What?
Guten Tag! Guten Tag!
Good night. Good. And that's how my first period class went. I sleep, my teacher wakes me up by speaking in German, I respond in German to learn, rinse and repeat. I did pass with a C, so if you're in a language class and sleeping, just have your teacher wake you up and respond in that language if you're that tired. But throughout that time, whenever someone woke me up, I would say something in German and they would look at me funny. Anyone who was in my homeroom knew that I was the guy who responded in German because of my sleep. But those that didn't thought it was weird because they knew I wasn't German or even been there, so they thought I was weird I would say something in German. Hey, wake up! Guten Morgen. What? I said good morning. Okay. I don't do it anymore since I passed my German class with a C. But it's strange because now I barely remember anything in German. Just moments ago I was speaking in German in my sleep to pass my test. Now I don't even remember how to write the alphabets in German. So I guess if you want to learn a different language, don't sleep it through. Sorry Mr. James, I wasn't offending you, I promise. Entering middle school. It's the time where students change clothes for their PE classes. When you're in elementary school, you don't need to bring a spare set of clothes. It was mostly recess time. Not that I'm complaining. For me, PE and recess aren't that different. Sure, you gotta do the workouts your school has been told is mandatory to do for their students, but after that we get to play sports that we worked up a sweat. But once you enter middle school, that's when PE is added to your class schedule. You know the gimmick. Every time you go to school, you gotta bring your own PE clothes if you don't want dirty the clothes you're wearing. But to me, it was a hassle. What was the point of wearing your gym clothes for 30 minutes then change out of them? I'm sure many of you have done this already, but every night before I go to sleep, instead of wearing my pajamas, I instead wear my gym clothes and my school uniform over it to sleep. That way I can wake up without changing my clothes in the morning. And when it's time to change in my gym clothes, I could just take off my shirt and pants. I know, pretty weird to wear your gym clothes under your school uniform. But no one said it's weird to wear your swimsuit under your clothes. How is that any different than wearing your gym clothes under your school uniform? I mean, when you're wearing your swimsuit, you're probably playing for around like an hour or two, but when you're wearing your gym clothes, you're playing for like 30 minutes. Then you gotta change out of them. Not worth it in my opinion. Time is money. I'll just wear my gym clothes in my sleep so I don't waste a minute or two changing. Sure, it was uncomfortable to sleep in 2 layers of clothing, but it was better than changing my clothes. Gah! Changing into my gym clothes is a pain. I'll just wear my uniform and my gym clothes together. That way I want to change once I wake up and change in school. Itchy. Itchy. One time, for some reason, I accidentally wore my gym clothes backwards. And I have no idea how I didn't notice, especially with the shirt tack in front of my face. To be fair, my gym clothes look the same inside out, but still, I have no idea how I didn't notice. Even my classmates knew, and they kept laughing at me. I thought they were just laughing at me because I was the guy who wore his gym clothes underneath his clothes. I should have just acted like Jerry when his shirt was on backwards. Hey, is your shirt on backwards? Yeah, and I like it this way. I'm not stupid. After middle school, I stopped wearing my gym clothes under my uniform, mainly because my high school doesn't have uniforms. But entering high school, I wanted to join a club. In my middle school, we didn't have clubs, so I was interested in joining a club. Maybe a sports club, maybe an art club, maybe even the computer club. But sadly, I couldn't. Not for being good at it. Oh no, I wouldn't met the expectation. I just didn't have a ride home. For any of you who takes the bus and have no car and want to be your ride, you know the feeling of not joining a club because you have no ride home and your only option is the bus that waits for no one. Wait for me! So here I am, at home full of cold air with the air conditioner on. I don't know about you, but I always get the room with the most powerful air conditioner and a window that barely gets any sun. I'm so miserable. So what do I do to get some warmth for my body? Fill a bathtub with hot water? Do runs around my neighborhood to build up a good sweat? Grab a home exercise video and spend 20 minutes in front of a TV doing cardio? We gotta move, people! You know you want to. Nope. I lay outside with the sun beaming at me. Not in my neighborhood. No, that's just weird. I lay around my school ground. Every time recess came or PE, whenever we have free time for ourselves, I would just lay down on the ground and put on my jacket on top of me to avoid sunburn. I have no idea why I did this. I could just lay next to some other window in my house to feel the UV rays on my body. Well, actually I wouldn't because my jacket would be in the way, but you get the point. Whenever I have free time in school, I just lay down on some random spot with my jacket on top of me to feel the sun on my body. I look like a dead body in some morgue and everyone thought I was playing dead because of how I look. Is that guy playing dead? Probably. Just leave him alone. He's weird. I may as well have been dead because I laid there so many times I missed my classes because of my lack of sleep. I'm a bad boy. What's he doing? Is he playing dead? He's gonna miss class. I know many of you think these things aren't that weird, but I can confidently say that if you were there and saw me doing any of these things, you would stop for a moment and think to yourself, that guy's weird. Which is normal, I do it too. There's never a moment where you see someone outside your comfort zone and just stop and gaze at their actions. Heck, even today I'm doing weird stuff many things are weird and just accept that they're weird and that's okay. All of us are doing something out of the ordinary, even you yourself don't think it's strange. Like it or not, there's gonna be a guy or girl stopping at that tracks and judge you based on your posture or game. It's the same with me and my sisters. There's never a moment where I'm doing something and when my sister comes in, she think it's weird. Hey boy, what are you doing? You're weird.